visa into the United States, for example, and has been, very much persona non grata with Europe as well. Now the European Union representative in Delhi is talking with Mr. Modi. Mr. Modi made quite a lot of the British High Commissioner in Delhi, going to meet him in Ahmedabad in the course, it was at some point last year, I don't remember exactly when. So I mean, this has been the this has been the trend, hasn't it, in India over the last decade, that increasingly in India's, it's now sometimes described as India's federal market economy, that individual states are negotiating independently with the international finance institutions and with companies outside. So that is it's a very important development, and increasingly, I think, it's going to be what takes place in negotiations between European companies and states like Gujarat. That's, I think, looking at it from an Indian perspective, is actually quite worrying, because it's only going to further increase the tremendous inequality between Indian states. More generally, how does Europe relate to India? I mean, I think that certainly over the recent past, India has really not done itself any big favours in terms of the way in which it appears to the rest of the world. Again, there's a certain level of media hype about this, but there's a very strong perception, I think, of policy drift, of this government having really got nowhere. There's been perhaps some shift there in relation to the point about opening up retail trade. No, I think the present government has actually been ready to push that through against a great deal of opposition.
It's been a lot,
and it is going ahead. I mean, I was talking in another context not long ago about this actually with Canadians, and the conversation went along the lines of, Canada should really develop an IKEA, so that Canada can really sort of open up an important market in India for its timber and so on. So I think that's actually been in the perceptions, I think, of quite a lot of people in Europe. I think that's really been quite an important development of the very recent past. The evidence of the commitment of government to opening up retail trade.
Any other comments from the panel? No, then I suggest